योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Hello students, myself Dr. Hiral Parekh, Assistant Professor at KS School of Business Management, Gujarat University. Warm greetings to you all. Today in this particular session, we will discuss the concept of marginal costing. We are going to learn about very significant aspect of marginal costing. We start with introduction. One of the important function of any business is to determine the cost of a product or service which is a part of cost accounting. The cost can be determined using different elements of cost which is based on two techniques such as marginal costing and absorption costing. In this module, we will discuss and understand marginal costing in detail. We start with the objectives. Before discussing the concept of marginal costing in detail, let us first clarify the objectives in this session. We are going to discuss certain points of marginal costing such as elements of cost, meaning of direct and indirect cost, meaning of variable and fixed cost, meaning of marginal cost, meaning of marginal costing, characteristics of marginal costing, calculation of profit under marginal costing, assumptions made under marginal costing, application of marginal costing in business, advantages of marginal costing and limitations of marginal costing. Let us discuss these points one by one. We start with elements of cost. In cost accounts, bundle of expenses is called cost. Expenses involved in cost are termed as elements of cost. There are different elements of cost and can be categorized into direct cost and indirect cost. Direct cost include direct material, direct labor and direct expenses. Indirect cost includes factory overheads, administrative overheads, selling and distribution overheads. This classification is clarified by a diagram. The meaning of direct and indirect cost, let us discuss in detail. Direct costs are those expenses that can be completely attributed to the production of a particular goods or services. As we see in the flow chart, direct cost has three categories stated under it, that is direct material, direct labor and direct expenses. For example, cotton used to manufacture cloth is direct material. Wages paid to workers engaged in manufacturing of cotton is direct wages. Color, chemical, dyes, etc. used is called other direct expenses. While indirect costs are the cost used by multiple activities, hence cannot be assigned to a specific cost objects. For example, electricity used for factory building, depreciation on factory building, salary paid to factory manager, expenses of all departments working in a factory premises are all indirect cost. Hence, indirect costs are joint expenses for all departments or machines in a factory which cannot be directly allocated to a particular department or machine. Meaning of variable and fixed cost. Variable costs are those which changes with the change in output, while fixed costs remain constant irrespective of the amount of goods produced. Direct costs are variable in nature, while indirect cost basic nature is fixed but could be variable after certain level of operation. The nature of direct and indirect cost, that is fixed and variable, can be clarified with the help of a diagram. It is clear from the diagram that x-axis shows output while y-axis shows cost. Fixed cost line is a horizontal parallel to output, which indicates that fixed cost remains same irrespective of change in output. Variable cost line goes up in the same proportion as output increases, it indicates that variable cost changes in the same proportion with the change in output. Meaning of marginal cost: as fixed cost remains fixed at certain level of output and it is not directly correlated with output. The cost of production will change with the change in output due to variable cost only. Hence, variable cost should be included in decision making. The variable cost is known as marginal cost, as increase in one unit of output will change the cost only due to variable cost. Let us clarify this phenomena with the help of a chart. As seen in the figure, total cost can also be differentiated into production and non-production cost. Production cost can further be divided into direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. All these three are variable in nature, and factory overheads, which could be either variable or fixed. All variable production cost, including variable factory overheads, would come together to be termed as marginal cost. Non-production cost can be divided into administrative overheads and selling and distribution overheads. Marginal cost is the additional cost of producing an additional unit of a product. It is the addition to all the variable cost which is composed of all direct cost and variable production overheads. The Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, that is CIMA, UK based professional body, which has defined marginal cost as the amount at given volume of output by which aggregate costs are changed if the volume of output is increased or decreased by 1 unit. It is the cost of 1 unit of a product which would be avoided if that unit was not produced. Let us understand the concept with an example. A firm manufactures 200 units of a product in 1 month, suppose January. Marginal or variable cost per unit is rupees 500, while total cost per month is rupees 10,000. Then the total cost of each month would be marginal cost, that is 200 units into 500 per unit gives 1 lakh, fixed cost 10,000 added to it, that gives total cost of 1,10,000. If the output increases by 1 unit from 200 units to 201 units, the cost will be marginal cost 201 unit into 500 per unit, that gives 1,500,000 plus fixed cost 10,000, that gives 1,10,500. Thus, as we noticed in the illustration that the additional cost of producing an additional unit is only rupees 500, which is its marginal cost. Let us understand meaning of marginal costing. After understanding marginal cost, now we use the term marginal costing. Marginal cost is determination of marginal cost and its effect on profit with change in volume of output by differentiating fixed and variable cost. Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India, that is ICWAI, also now known as Cost and Management Accountants of India CMA, defines marginal costing as a method that considers only variable cost as production cost, leaving period cost to be absorbed from marginal contribution. If we understand in this context, marginal costing is not a type of costing such as process costing, job costing and many more, but it is a technique which is concerned with the changes in cost, profit due to change in volume or output. Marginal costing is also known as variable costing. Characteristics of marginal costing, let us discuss that. The important characteristics and mechanisms of marginal costing techniques are: number 1, classification of cost. Different elements of cost such as production, administration, selling and distribution are basically classified into fixed and variable components. Semi-variable costs are also analyzed and differentiated into variable and fixed cost. This is done as marginal costing technique is dependent on variable cost of a product. Second one, valuation of inventory. In this technique, the stock, which is either in work in progress or finished, must be valued at marginal cost only. This is totally different compared to the total cost consideration in marginal costing. Third one, fixed cost as period cost. Fixed costs are termed or treated as a period cost and are charged to profit and loss account for that period in which they are incurred. Fourth one, variable cost as product cost. Product cost are those which become a part of production cost and inventory valuation. And in this method, only marginal or variable costs are charged to products produced in that period. Hence, variable cost is considered as product cost. Fifth one, contribution. Marginal costing technique uses the concept of contribution for various decision making. Contribution is the difference between sales value and marginal or variable cost of sales. So, formula of contribution is sales minus variable cost. Higher the contribution, more profitability. Thus, profitability of the product is based on the study of contribution made by each product in a product mix. In the absence of key factor, profitability is based on contribution. Let us look at an example. A manufacturing business produces 3 products, namely A, B and C. The contribution calculated for each product is rupees 15, 12 and 16 respectively. We can see that maximum contribution is of product C. First rank is given to product C, second rank is given to product A and third rank is given to product B based on its contribution. In this way, contribution could help in decision making of product mix in absence of any key factor. Sixth number, that is pricing. Selling price of a product in marginal costing is calculated based on marginal cost plus the contribution, which is the excess of sales or selling price over marginal cost. The formula is selling price is equal to variable cost plus contribution. Thereby, it means that the addition is for recovery of production fixed cost and earned profits. Calculation of profit under marginal costing. In marginal costing, the profit is calculated by two-stage approach. Under marginal costing, the contribution is to be calculated first to calculate the profits. Contribution is the margin of profit available for meeting fixed expenses and net profit. Thus, contribution per unit is equal to sales minus variable cost and net profit is equal to contribution minus fixed expenses. Let us see how the profit is calculated under marginal costing with an example. If selling price per unit is rupees 20, number of units sold 10,000 units, variable cost per unit is rupees 12 and fixed expenses is rupees 50,000. Therefore, sales 10,000 units into 20 gives 2 lakhs, less variable cost 10,000 units into 12 gives 1,20,000. The difference between sales and variable cost is contribution, that is 10,000 units into 8 per unit, that gives 80,000. From that, we reduce fixed cost 50,000, we get a profit of rupees 30,000. From this example, we can say that contribution is the difference between sales and variable cost. Contribution shows the margin from sales available for meeting fixed expenses and profit. Profit is the difference between contribution and fixed cost. Fixed cost is deducted at later stage because it does not change with the change in output. Let us now discuss various assumptions under marginal costing. The technique of marginal costing is based on certain assumptions. Number 1, different elements of cost are to be segregated into either fixed or variable cost. Variable costs are direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and variable factory, administrative and selling and distribution overheads. Fixed costs are inclusive of fixed factory, administrative and selling and distribution overheads. Next, variable cost changes directly in proportion with the change of volume of output. Let's understand this statement with an illustration. 2 years are given, 2018-19 and 19-20. Number of units produced are 5,000 units and in the second year it is 6,000 units. Variable cost per unit is 20 and 20. Total variable cost will be 1 lakh and 1,20,000. There are two cases mentioned in the table. For the first year, the production cost is 5,000 units, while the variable cost per unit is rupees 20. So, the total variable cost comes to rupees 1 lakh. In the next year, the production increases to 6,000 units. The variable cost per unit remains same at rupees 20, but the total variable cost increases to rupees 1,20,000. Hence, from this example, we can say that variable cost changes with a change in volume. Next one, for any given period of time, fixed cost remains same or constant for the entire production volume. The following points can be understood by this table. It shows that relationship between production and fixed and variable costs. See the table. As variable cost per unit remains the same, total variable cost changes with the change in output. It means when production decreases, total variable cost also decreases, while fixed cost remains same in total amount. Hence, per unit fixed cost increases when production decreases. Let us understand with an example. Year 2018-19, 2019-20, fixed cost and variable cost are given. Number of units produced 5,000 units and 6,000 units. Variable cost per unit is 20 each. Fixed cost per unit is 6 and 5 respectively in the year 2018-19 and 19-20. The total cost comes to, when you see the variable cost column, it is 1 lakh and 1,20,000, while the fixed cost remains same in both the years, that is 30,000 and 30,000. We can see that when number of units produced is increased from 5,000 units to 6,000 units, fixed cost per unit decreases from rupees 6 to rupees 5, while variable cost per unit remains same, that is rupees 20. The next one. The only factor influencing the cost is the volume of production or output. The profit will decrease with the amount of contribution earned if the volume of sales fall by 1 unit. Looking at the example, it will give a better perspective. In the year 2018-19, number of units produced are 5,000 units. In the year 2019-20, number of units produced are 4,999. Selling price per unit is rupees 30 per unit. That comes to 1,50,000 in the first year. In the next year, it is 1,49,970. If you reduce the variable cost per unit 20, in total it comes to 1 lakh, and in the other year it comes to 99,980. You can see the difference. Sales minus variable cost gives contribution, that is 10 per unit, and contribution in total comes to 50,000 in the first year. In the second year it comes to 49,990. If you reduce fixed cost from the contribution, fixed cost 30,000 in each years, the profit is 20,000 in the first year and 19,990 in the second year. As mentioned in the example, in 2018-19, the firm produced 5,000 units and hence the profit calculated is rupees 20,000. While in the next year, the production fell by 1 unit, that is 4,999 units. The profit then calculated is 19,990. With this example, we can understand that profit decreases with a fall in the volume of sales by rupees 10, that is contribution per unit. The next one, the important assumption of marginal costing is there is no closing inventory. It is assumed that whatever is produced is sold out. Now let us understand application of marginal costing in business. Now let us discuss how the marginal costing can be applied in business. Marginal costing is the most useful method in managerial decision making. The production cost and sales decisions are affected by marginal costing. There are different managerial decisions taken with the help of these techniques. Now let us discuss the application of this technique. The first one, profit planning. Any firm does the planning of the future operations to earn maximum profit. In this method, the contribution ratio, that is the ratio of marginal contribution to sales, indicates the best profitable option of different products manufactured and sold by the business. It also covers up the changes in volume of sales, marginal cost per unit, total fixed cost, sales mix and change in selling price due to different factors. It helps in planning profits, thereby getting returns on capital employed. Second one, selection of product mix. When a firm produces more than one product, the decision of optimum production mix can be taken with the help of marginal costing. At that time, the business has to calculate and understand each product's contribution margin or gross profit margin. The most profitable mix can be determined by applying marginal costing method. As fixed cost remains same, the profit is determined by maximum contribution. Third one, decision making. As we have understood that marginal costing is a technique which is very useful for different management decisions, but there are more important decisions to be taken, such as first one, make or buy decision. Sometimes in manufacturing unit, a decision regarding making or buying of a part or a product is to be taken. This decision is best taken while considering the variable cost, that is marginal cost, of making in a factory or comparing it with buying of a product outside. Second decision is discontinuance of a product. If a product's performance is not impressive, then such product can be discontinued. This decision can be taken by calculating contribution margin for that particular product. If there is no contribution margin, it could be discontinued, but if there is some contribution earned, then it could be continued, as it reduces the burden of fixed cost to the firm. The next decision is accept or reject new orders. Accepting or rejecting new orders in subcontracting is made through contribution analysis, whether it would be profitable to accept or reject it. The next decision is temporary close or shut down. Any production unit may have to stop its operation temporarily for some time due to various reasons like labor trouble, material shortage, financial difficulties or any other reason. If it is to be shut down, then certain expenses are to be taken care of. So, either to close it temporarily or permanently, it is to be decided based on contribution. Now, let us discuss advantages of marginal costing. Number 1, it is easy to comprehend. It is really easy to operate and understand the technique of marginal costing. As fixed costs are not a part of unit cost, the statements prepared are based on variable or marginal cost, which makes it less complicated. Number 2, allocation of cost. Fixed costs are charged against contribution, hence marginal costing prevents the need for allocation and apportionment and absorption of fixed overheads. It reduces or removes the complexities of over or under recovery of overheads due to separation of fixed overheads from others. Number 3, valuation of stock. In marginal costing, closing stock is valued at marginal cost only. Hence, it also prevents carrying forward of fixed cost in the form of part of value of closing stock. Number next, that is cost control. It is very useful for cost controlling. The major concentration lies on marginal or variable cost, which is controllable, unlike fixed cost, which is not controllable. Hence, consistency is maintained, which is useful at various levels. Number next, that is fifth, helpful in certain calculations. It is helpful in calculation of various important factors such as break-even point, effect of profit due to change in raw material prices, wages or change in sales mix. It also facilitates to plan sales for desired level of profit or expectation of profit at different levels of production. Next, number 6, decision making. There are different decision making points such as fixing of selling price, selection of profitable product mix, problems of key factors, business decisions such as make or buy decision, close or shut down decision, evaluation of performance of capital investment decisions. Marginal costing is the key to all such management decisions. Now let us discuss the limitations of marginal costing. Marginal costing techniques has certain limitations also. Number 1, the method of marginal costing depends on lot of assumptions which might not be true in all circumstances. Number 2, this method assumes that either the cost which is classified into fixed or variable cost, but there would be certain cost which neither can be classified into fixed nor variable cost. Thus, it is very difficult to segregate them into the categories as it might lead to misleading results. Number next, the disregard of fixed cost for inventory valuation, that is closing stock, is not a good practice. Stock whose value is according to the marginal cost are undervalued and thus profit and loss account do not show the true amounts. Thus, it is not conforming to the accounting practices. Number next, though marginal costing is useful for short-term decision making, but is exactly of less use or no use in long-run planning scenarios. Number next, it does not consider fixed cost while determining the cost of product. In long run, selling price based on total cost should be inclusive of fixed cost. The pricing decision cannot be based on marginal cost alone. The next one, control of the cost can be better achieved with the help of other techniques such as standard costing and budgetary control, which would consider the effect of fixed cost as well. Hence, marginal costing has that limitation. Though marginal costing faces so many challenges, still it is considered to be a very useful tool in the hands of management for decision making, cost control and profit planning. Let us summarize this session. There are mainly two methods to calculate product cost and income determination, and one of them is marginal costing. It is an alternative to the other methods which considers only marginal or variable cost in consideration of product cost. Fixed cost generally remains constant and bear no relation to the volume of output. Marginal cost can be considered as the cost of producing one additional unit of a product during production. This method runs on few assumptions which lead to few advantages of using this method and few disadvantages also, which should be considered while using this tool for decision making. I hope you all have understood this concept of marginal costing. Thank you.